Hello, my name is Nancy with Yoga Journeys, and let's talk downward dog. I think I was about 10 years into yoga before somebody cued me into the proper alignment. And after that, at first it was very hard. After 10 years of doing it essentially wrong, it was very hard to make the switch because the body picks up habits. But once I did finally get myself into the proper positioning and get used to it and get the muscles strengthened, it became such a wonderful, peaceful pose. Okay, and I would love for everybody to move in that direction with downward dog, to love downward dog, because there's a lot to love about it. So first thing we need to do is get our hands, okay? Nice wide hands. Let's do a few, like, squeeze the fingers and just fan them out. Jazz hands, stars. Feel the webbing between each of your fingers, stretching, okay? And then place them on the ground. Okay, why are we doing this? Because when we just put our hands on the ground and put weight on it, we tend to put all the weight in the heel of the hand. And through enough repetition, that will really could really do some damage on the wrists. And to protect that, we're fanning out our hands, we're gripping the floor with our fingertips so that we distribute the weight through a greater amount of space throughout the hands. Okay. The second is, after you put your hands on the ground, if I tell you to bend your elbows, which way are they going to go? More likely than not, you're going to get this. We don't really want that. Okay, we want to wrap our shoulder, find this kind of like wrapping action from our shoulders, so then if someone asks you to bend your elbows, they bend backwards. Okay, we want to keep that alignment. That alignment is so important for not just downward dog, but for almost every arm balance we have. So let's make sure we get that kind of wrapping action with the shoulders, hollowing out of the armpits, bending the elbows back. So before we go up into our full downward dog, let's make sure that we can get our arms to do what we want them to do. So again, bend our elbows. Okay, elbows bending toward the mat. Let's scoot our knees back to kind of lengthen through the arms. Can they still bend down? Yep, they're doing great. All right, so tuck the toes, send the sit bones up. Are we starfishing our hands? Are our fingers reaching into the gripping into the mat? Excellent. How do we want to plant our feet? What is the best space between feet to hands? There's a very easy way to test that. So from downward dog, on an inhale, ripple forward into plank. Oh, okay. Did you have to move your feet or hands for that? If you didn't, you have a good distance between the hands and feet. So ideally, we should be able to move back and forth between downward dog and plank without moving our hands or feet. Exhale. I know a lot of people just want to get those heels to the ground so bad, and so it's so much easier to get your heels to the ground when you're right up here, but you're sacrificing one of the beautiful parts of the pose, which is giving you some traction through the back, some opening through the back. So we don't want to sacrifice that. So let's find our plank. Send the hips up and back. If the heels reach the ground, great. If they don't, that's fine too. Let the inner thighs melt toward each other in this pose. Okay? So it's almost like we're pushing our hamstrings toward the back of the room. Okay, here's the check. Which way are your elbows going to bend? Yes. And that does take some getting used to. So if that's not coming right away, it's okay. It's okay. Just have the awareness, have the intention, so that when you get into the pose, you're going to wrap your shoulders and try to get those arms to bend backwards. Okay, and now are your sit bones reaching up toward the sky? If they're not, come on your toes, really high on your toes, and then bend your knees toward your ribs. Now send those sit bones up toward the sky. You might feel a shift in the stretch through the hamstrings. Okay, now try to keep the pelvis exactly where it is. Drop the heels. Drop the heels toward the ground. There we go. Again, find that wrapping through the shoulders. You're going to probably engage the serratus. You're going to engage some of the muscles in your ribs. Keep pressing through all 5 fingers, all 5 fingertips.
Long, big inhale. Feel it go all the way up to the peak of your pose. And exhale with a sigh. And every inhale you feel lengthening through the spine. And every exhale, the heels reach toward the ground. Again, not in a race to get there. And when you're ready to come out, just drop down onto the knees. Walk your hands back towards your knees. And there you have it. We had a quick little downward dog breakdown. So, if you like this video, please hit like. If you want more videos like this, hit subscribe. And if you have a request, like if you want to do a breakdown of a different pose, if you have an issue in the body that you'd like to get addressed through yoga, please add a comment, and maybe we can make a video especially for you. All right, I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful journey.